New Year's, guys, and happy Wednesday morning. This coming 2021, I think, is going to be absolutely liberating for the real estate market. There is so much in store for us and so many exciting things, I think, coming down the pipeline in real estate in general that we have a lot to look forward to. Welcome to Breakfast with Bev this morning. I have the pleasure of being here with Mr. Michael Vanilla, and he is a loan originator at USA Mortgage. And he is a lender that we actually roll ideas off of. He works with a lot of our clients. He always stays very abreast of the real estate market and what's going on with local trends. And so he is the perfect person for us to visit with this morning to talk about our 2021 predictions. So share with me in just your words, Mike, what your thoughts was of a recap of 2020.
Yeah, thanks, Bev, for having me. I think 2020 was definitely had a lot of questions for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with the pandemic, with rates going so low, pent-up demand for inventory. I think, you know, towards the end of the year, a lot of people started to level off and feel a lot more comfortable with what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So I think 2021 is going to be a much more exciting year for all of us.
Mm-hmm. And hopefully with the vaccine that's here and just a lot of hope on the horizon with the virus stuff that's going on, and the election is behind us, and hopefully people are getting a little bit more in the groove as far as the education with their kids at home, and you know, all of those things kind of getting into a system and into a pattern will make life hopefully a little bit simpler. So from a real estate perspective, I can say that last year for 2020, what our team saw was a true shortage of inventory. And in the 28 years I've been in the business, I don't think we've ever had such low listing inventory. And to finish out the year with such low inventory is just kind of unheard of. And so it was a lot of, I'll use the word digging for listings for our clients, just so that everybody could find what they're looking for. And some didn't. And so because of the virus, I'm sure you can attest, you had a lot of refis, I'm sure.
Yeah, we had a lot of refis just due to people not wanting to have somebody walk through their home or not
Mm-hmm.
wanting to walk through other homes, but also with rates being so low. So I think 21, you're going to see that just the sheer comfortable, you know,
Mm-hmm.
knowing what's going on, how to social distance. It's going to allow people to really start to open up and say, okay, yeah, I think I might be ready to list my home and,
Mm-hmm.
you know, take advantage of the low rates. I think another really interesting fact, because Columbia is so diverse, 2021 is actually the first year that the latest millennials will actually turn 40.
Oh,
So they're saying that
didn't even think about that.
yeah,
Okay.
they're saying that they're going to start to see more downgrading since the family sizes may start, you know, going off to college and so
Sure.
forth. So hopefully we'll start to see another opportunity of where inventory will kind of start to open up.
Well, and would you not agree that with hopefully a vaccine that's, you know, gonna, you know, get all en route with everybody and everybody gets it, and, you know, to try to calm the waters with that, I'm hopeful and feel that a lot of inventory will come on the market just as a result of that for a couple reasons. One is, I think, the comfort level of going into homes now, putting your home on the market and letting people come in your home, hopefully will get a little bit better. And I think too that we have found a lot of people have been kind of cooped up, as you will, in their home for quite some time now, to where they are finding that some people aren't going to go back to the traditional brick and mortar workplace. They're going to actually be working out of their own homes, and you know, they might have to homeschool their kids a little bit longer, and they're needing different spaces in their home, and maybe it's not a formal dining room they need anymore, maybe it's an at-home office. So I think that people are kind of reevaluating their homes and their lifestyles and what's kind of more important to them. I mean, would you agree or disagree?
No, I strongly agree. Just looking at all of the clients that I help with and just talking with, you know, people in the industry, I've noticed two trends, not just individuals knowing now that I can work from home,
Mm-hmm.
but a lot of employers in these bigger metro areas, they're starting to realize that they can actually pay more and cut less and cut more from having people work at home.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, you know, that need of a larger home with still what we're seeing to be increased, you know, whether it's monthly bonuses or annual salaries, is going to allow people to upgrade to just a larger, you know, more higher ticket priced home since the need is there now.
In your opinion, just from the trends that you're seeing, do you feel like the indicators are stating that interest rates will stay low for a while longer? I mean, it's like, do you have any kind of prediction? And I know that's a tough question to answer, but it's like, just, I know you do a lot of research, and so what would just be your take on it as far as, you know?
My take is that you can't do a quick shot in the arm and just see an immediate increase.
Yeah.
You know, with where everything's going and the pandemic getting more, you know, stabilized, the vaccines coming out, I think, and so does, you know, Fannie Mae or the MBA, that through at least the third quarter, we're gonna see rates stay stable, if not, you know, some short-term dips. I think 2021 is gonna be just as solid as 2020, if not even better. So I would say rates to forecast, probably not gonna see any major increases. The biggest increases we'll see is they're just gonna make, you know, your out-of-the-box investment stuff to purchase a little bit more difficult, but your single-family residence, which is where your core business really comes from, I think is gonna stay stable, if not grow.
Okay, and are you still doing as much refis as you are new purchases, or are you 50-50? Are you, kind of like, what's the balance on that right now, as far as refis versus purchases?
So myself and our team, we always try to approach a refi with an opportunity to purchase. You know, have you looked into this? Because if you refi now and you get out of it in 2 years, you're probably not gonna get the same interest rate on the next home you purchase.
Right.
So we always try to bring that to the forefront, because purchase is really where our core business is.
Sure.
So we always try to bring that up, and you know, sometimes we are able to, you know, have a good conversation and put an opportunity there. But we have seen refis start to slow down a bit, just because there's only so many that can be done.
Sure.
But also people are still kind of on the fence that should I refi, or should I look at possibly waiting until the new year and getting into something different. So they have slowed down, and I think we're gonna continuously see them to start level off and drop, and see the purchase business start to increase as they get more comfortable with possibly listing their home.
Yeah. Well, and I think too, after we come out of this little bit of winter, we've had such a mild winter that so far, I have to say, the spring market for us is already sprung. It's like, it just carried right on through the holidays, just because it just doesn't feel like winter. So I think that as inventory comes on, I think that my prediction is that you are still going to see quite a few multiple offers, and that, you know, people are gonna have to be careful with those multiple offers, because as you just indicated, you know, probably maybe by the third quarter, we might see a change in rates and the market trends kind of change again, that if you're overpaying in a market and the market corrects, then you are gonna have to stay in your home quite a bit longer in order to make it, you know, worth your while to do that. So it is important to kind of do your checks and balances as far as, you know, where are you positioned in your home. But I do think it's a good health check for 2021 is to check to see what your current interest rate is, and does it make sense for you to refi if you haven't already done that. And then also, has your needs in your space environment changed to where maybe it makes sense to upsize or downsize or whatever the situation might be. And it's also, I think, a great time for investment property folks, because do you work with quite a few folks like buying investment properties?
Yeah, we actually.
Are you seeing more of that?
We are seeing a good amount of, you know, second home purchases and investment purchases, especially from people outside of the area, just because this community is still strong. They're taking advantage of, you know, such high return with purchasing at such a low rate.
Okay.
So I think, you know, just to kind of mimic what you said, I think it is really a good time, you know, for a family or an individual to really sit down and say, you know, what is my 1 to 5 year forecast going to look like, instead of just living it month by month.
Right.
Because things could so dramatically change within a year or a year
That's right.
over. So yeah, investment's definitely big, second home is big, but most importantly, I think it's really important that you sit down and kind of figure out what your 1 to 5 year goals are gonna be.
So I guess another question would be, as far as your prediction, do you, in your opinion, see the qualifications for a home loan changing very dramatically over the course of this coming year? Or do you feel like maybe some minor tweaks? I mean, I know we have a new administration coming in and all of that good stuff. It's like, what's your take or prediction on requirements to obtain a loan? Do we have to be concerned about that?
I wouldn't say as much as being concerned, more as they're just trying to make sure they don't put themselves in another, big bubble
Mm-hmm.
type of issue. So the really only areas we're seeing any big impact on is going to be majorly self-employed borrowers.
Okay.
Short-term, just got self-employed,
Mm-hmm.
Buying your 7th, 8th, 9th property.
Right.
They wanted to make sure that when you are lending such large dollar amount to, somebody that presents more risk, they wanna make sure they're putting all their checks and balances
Sure.
into place, so that way they know that, okay, this isn't gonna be a big, upset,
Mm-hmm.
once things do slow down. 'Cause
Sure.
obviously, if you're buying high, rates go up, then that presents a larger risk for the investor.
Sure.
Your single-family residence, your normal employment, there's not gonna be any big changes coming down the pipe.
Okay. Very good. Very good. Well, I think you can kind of summarize this as far as interest rates are predicted to remain low, at least until the third quarter, the course of most of the year. I think you're also going to see hopefully some more inventory open up as the vaccine gets in place and people feel more comfortable with that. And I think you're also going to see still probably a little bit of shortage of inventory, and that pent up demand of folks that couldn't find properties, like say this past year in 2020. I know a lot of those folks, and we've had several of our buyers ourselves, that couldn't find what they were looking for, or got into multiple offer situations and it wasn't worth their while to follow through with that. It just didn't make prudent financial sense. They had to roll back into a lease for a little bit. So you're going to see some of those leases coming back out again, to where they're going to be back out in the buyer force trying to find a home this spring and early summer. So that's going to also kind of keep that market moving pretty readily too. So I think that, and I think you'd probably agree, this is a golden opportunity still for folks that if you want to upsize or downsize, if you want to do something different, get a health check on your home, 2021 is the perfect time to get that done.
Yeah, I would strongly agree. I think 2021 not only presents that opportunity with all of the positives that are going on, I think the biggest thing for us being in the industry that we can do is just really educate.
Sure.
To make sure, the buyer or the seller understands the great opportunity they really have right now.
Sure.
And, just putting them at comfort and at ease. And I think that will really help, us get ahead by, just letting them know that everything's gonna be okay, and really let's just look at what the opportunity is right now.
Sure. Well, I can't thank you enough, Mike, for all of your time that you spend with our team and your input, and you do such a great job with our clients. So thank you so much for coming on this morning with us. If you guys need a health check on your home loan or are looking for a new home loan product, you definitely deserve to reach out to Mike Vanilla at USA Mortgage. He has a fantastic team that he works with. He's very committed to the business, and he's a great person just to roll some ideas off of and see if it's going to be in your financial best interest. If you're needing a health check on your home to see, do I want to upsize? Do I want to downsize? Do I want to buy something different? What should I do to improve my home? Should I put it on the market now? Reach out to us here at Bev & Co. here at House of Brokers, and we'll be more than happy to come and do a health visit, come to your home, and just size up what you have, what your situation is, and your goals that you're trying to accomplish. And we do that free of charge, and we're more than happy to provide an exceptional service to our clients. So we really do appreciate your guys' continued loyalty and following us with the Breakfast with Bev. We're very excited to start a whole new series here in 2021. So please remember to join in on us at 9 o'clock on Wednesday mornings. We're here to provide you the best resources we can. Thanks, guys, and have a great week.